Gentlemen, how are you? Good afternoon.
How you doing?
Y'all need to both talk at the same time.
What's going on, guys?
So we got a few people here with us. We'll get more as we go. So, Oscar, you called this meeting. I'm going to let you kind of take the reins, sir. And you got a few things we want to talk about. What's going on with the Fed? A lot of stuff interesting stuff going on with Terra Luna. Just
Absolutely. Well, welcome everybody. Good morning, afternoon, or evening to anyone who's watching us. Really exciting times for crypto, right? It's all right. We're just here trying to use this crypto as instruments for our own financial freedom. So I really appreciate what's going on right now with crypto as a whole, and being part of this organization, Clear Cryptos. That's pretty cool. As far as what's coming up pretty soon with the launch, guys. Well, I think a lot of us are excited for what happened with the Ethereum merge, right? Not necessarily for the price, probably, since we saw some crashes, especially late yesterday. But it is what it is in crypto, right? We're still in this progress of adoption, and I think earlier today, I don't know if you guys saw it, but over 300 Bitcoin bought by who? You guessed it, MicroStrategy, right? Now, do you think MicroStrategy is bearish on crypto? So absolutely not. Like, they know what's coming up with everything that's going on right now with the crypto market. So probably you don't have $6 million just on this side, right, to buy like them. But I'm pretty excited to hear that too. Now, waking up today, I think you guys, if you're watching Terra Luna Classic, which is another subject, right, with other different community tokens, embrace the 1.2 tax burn with one of the latest exchanges, and that will be Crypto.com, which it's incredible. You go to CoinMarketCap and take a look at the volume. It is under 1%, according to CoinMarketCap, right? Who has more than 40%? You guessed it, Binance. So many different actors right now going on with Terra Luna Classic, and that's something that we're going to be talking about in this one too. And well, 2 days from now, Cardano Vassal upgrade. I mean, that will be a hard fork that is sought after by the entire ADA community. Most of us here own, I guess, whole ADA, because we believe in the vision of Cardano as becoming an amazing economic, powerhouse for the world. And personally talked with Charles Hoskinson in the flesh. I think that's just a guy that has in his brain adoption and power to the community in a decentralized way. So just a little bit of the things that I think we want to touch base on. But what do you think, Zach? Welcome.
Yeah, man. All important topics, I think. And I personally kind of want to start with the Cardano Vassal hard fork. I think that's a big story. We've got the ETH merge kind of here and gone. And, it went overall, I thought, pretty good. I didn't really expect a ton of price action, given all the macroeconomic factors that are at play against this. But now all eyes on Cardano. And, I actually just recorded a video before we popped on live. Michael Van de Pope, I'm sure you guys have seen him or heard about him on Twitter. He does a bunch of TA and things like that. He said there's a chance we could see maybe a breakout towards $1, but ahead of the Vassal. But even if we don't, guys, I mean, I just love what Cardano's building. Austin, if you could share my screen real quick. I got a little something to pull up, and this is what I kind of went over in the video that I just recorded. So often, I think, and myself included, and I think all of us fall into this trap. We get caught up in the tracking of the chart and the volume and the prices, especially in the short term, right? When we're looking at it every day. But this is something, and shout out to Daniel, one of our moderators here on Clear Cryptos. He kind of helped me see this months and months and months ago. You got to look a little deeper behind the scenes, and what's happening on Cardano is really setting up for the long term, right? I'm more concerned about Cardano in 2025, 2030. And it's, images like this that make me, feel really good about my Cardano investment, right? So the updated top crypto projects by the number of active GitHub contributors over the last month, you could see Cardano makes up 11% of that chart, ahead of Ethereum. So there's a lot of activity happening on Cardano, and that should even ramp up more after the Vassal hard fork, guys, because it's going to be so much easier for developers to come on and build on top of Cardano. So I love what's being built with ADA, and I still think, it has a ton of room to go and grow once this, bull market comes back.
So Zach, I want to take a comment. You mentioned the Vassal and kind of wrap it in a question and kind of the overall kind of macroeconomic situation I know we'll get to here in a minute. I mean, it feels like nothing is moving, right? It feels like nothing. Everybody is just waiting to see what the Fed does tomorrow. I know we're going to get into that. I mean, I tend to take more of a longer view like you do. I don't really care what's going to happen with Cardano. I mean, I do care. That's not what I meant. You know, whatever happens short term is kind of it. But it's almost like look at the merge. The merge, because it was overshadowed by inflation and that narrative, it was almost like everybody's like, and it's almost like you wonder if the Vassal will be the same, because these are massive, revolutionary, groundbreaking, upgrades to both networks, and yet they're non-events, and these would be massive catalysts without all the other inflation, the macro stuff.
Go ahead, Oscar.
Yeah, whoever wants to take that.
In my opinion, I think usually, what happens is that, because I think what Zach shared, it's amazing, because I attended a Consensus 2022 in mid this year, and I saw the development and the progress that developers are doing. And anyone that is a project owner, of course, that is not my full expertise. I think a lot of us, we get caught up in the charts and in the price, the volume, the price predictions, which is exciting for the community. That's what I will say most of the community cares, because that's how we profit. But if we go behind it, we are probably not going to start seeing all these amazing improvements in price right now, just because of all the events that are crushing, I will say, the excitement to buy cryptocurrency. I mean, we just saw Robinhood earlier today adding USDC, a stable coin. So you mean that you're going to be trading crazy, and then you can just fall back on USDC, and then trade crazy and fall back into USDC and protect your cash? I mean, cannot believe it. So just to give you an idea, right, what I think. Of course, Cardano Vassal, I think it's amazing for the direction of this project. I'll always like to watch Charles Hoskinson's live and to learn from him, with the updates and so. And it could be just about the rumor, sell the news things, where once we have the upgrade and once it goes live, what I oftentimes tell my followers, if you think the price is not going to reach lower prices, well, think twice, because there we go, and we go lower, and there's more prices to go and dollar cost average. So it's for us yet to be seen. Can we go past the $1 ADA? Absolutely. ADA was about $3 in the bull market, so I have no doubt ADA will pass $3, but in due time.
I agree.
Yeah, go ahead, Zach.
I was just going to add one more quick thing with Cardano too. Here in 2022, I feel like we've had to make tough decisions because everything's been on sale, right? I mean, we could look across the top 100, and I mean, most of us probably own 20 or 30 of these projects, and it's hard to kind of pick which ones you want to go to and add, especially when they're all at such great prices. Cardano's been one of those for me that I've kept going, back to the well on, for a couple reasons. Number one, I think, I'm always looking at it. How can it's all risky, right? But how can I mitigate some of that risk? And Cardano's a top 10 project. The other thing that, for me, that made me have a lot of confidence, the yearly low is 39 cents. And we've been hanging out in this 43, 44, 45 cent range for Cardano for so long. And then every once in a while, it'll dip down to about 40 cents or 41 cents. I just think when you zoom out a little bit and you look at this long term, I think this is just a great accumulation zone. And it's been this way for a while. I feel like every time you look up and check the Cardano chart, it's trading at 44 cents, right? So it's been one of the ones for me personally, and if you guys want to jump in on this, in 2022, where you have to draw the line in the sand somewhere, and Cardano has always been one of those that I always find myself adding on to, and it's becoming a larger part of my portfolio this year. Yeah,
I mean, I would add one thing to that, and then we can transition into kind of the Fed and what they're doing. I would think that, if you're looking for a diversification strategy, a really simple one, I know that Zach, you and I talk about this all the time, and Oscar, I know you probably talk about this in one way or the other as well, is that, to your point, Zach, everything's on sale, right? I don't think, if you look at the top 20, just call it what it is, outside of maybe Dogecoin, okay, I'm not slamming Dogecoin in this context, but major blue chips that have active utility around them, you could pretty much go buy all of those guys, and in one way or the other, they're so dramatically discounted. And if you're down with holding them, a buy and hold mentality, and you're basically betting on the fact that, quote, will the entire crypto market get bigger down the road, you're not going to lose. That's literally, to me, one of the simplest ways to look at it. So I don't know, Oscar, you want to chime in on that? And then Zach, obviously, you can, and then we'll move into the Fed.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree for sure. I think for the most part, well, in my case, I started buying a lot of crypto last year. Now you tell me how that's looking, right? It's my story and a lot of people's stories that we started in crypto right after Dogecoin explosion in 2020. Robinhood was great, AMC and all that good stuff. People came in 2021 with all the hopes because we got a bull market, but some people, unfortunately, didn't take profits, and now this time of winter, cold, really winter time. But now this is the actual time to go hard on crypto. And well, first see what's going on with the good segue right now with the Fed, the FOMC meeting, and things regarding inflation.
Zach, yeah, any thoughts?
No, I agree too, and to Oscar's point too, I think a lot of people, made some money and lost money last year, I think, but last year was a huge learning curve for me. And I think for so many people. So, I mean, we're really going through the thick of the bear market now, but when we get on the other side of this, I think we're going to look back and we're going to learn a ton, during these last few years. So,
Yep. All right, Oscar, I'm going to let you go out the gate because, again, you called the proverbial meeting, which I appreciate you doing and rallying us to get on to do this today. The Fed, obviously, I'll set the stage. So today the Fed started their meeting. The stock market is just down. Last time I looked, Dow was down 400 plus points. Crypto not as bad, but down a little bit. We get the decision tomorrow. So what are your thoughts, Oscar? 75 basis, 100 basis point fallout. What do you think? And then obviously, Zach, same question to you.
Absolutely. Well, we have to look at what CPI data just passed a couple of days ago, 8.3%. And core inflation increased less than 1%, which that is a lot of the, I will say, numbers that a lot of people are looking and seeing that what the Federal Reserve is doing is actually not working. And looking at all the media outlets, not really being biased to one, but just taking a look across the board. That's what most people are seeing in the financial world. And I think we can agree that what the Fed is doing is something that we haven't seen in a long time, which is just pushing a lot of the rates up based on historical 40-year inflation. Now, all of us, of course, I think at this time, a lot of people enjoy those couple of years of really low rates back in 2020, 2021 due to the pandemic. But now it's the time that they want to bring it from 8% to 2%. What am I expecting? Well, the market is already bleeding. However, a lot of people that I respect in the crypto market, and some of them that just kind of like to give predictions, they're saying that we can go even lower, right? And they're saying that Bitcoin is just hovering around the 17,000, 18,000, but it can actually get a massive crash and the prices can actually go to the full bottom of this bear market, Bitcoin roughly 14,000, 15,000 in this year. Now, will that be the bottom of this bear market? Probably. Hopefully, we'll see. We actually don't have tangible data to fully say that that's the bottom. But in my opinion, I think we're getting closer to that end of the bear market during 2022. I'm expecting 75 basis points, to be honest with you. 100 basis points is very popular amongst everybody, but it does look like with more than 80% likeliness that it's going to be 75 basis points, still a massive hit for everybody that's borrowing. I mean, some of us who are trying to buy a house for the first time and look at the rates. So it is what it is. We're going to be having some punch in the gut for stocks, for crypto, something that we've seen before. Nothing as bad as a massive crash we had early in the pandemic, but some red days and going in mad money and all of that. Now, we'll have to wait until the next CPI data coming for September and October. And the FOMC meeting has a meeting in September, and then it has a meeting in November, if I'm not mistaken, and probably one more, but it has one after this one for sure. So this 2022, DeFi, Web3, NFTs are cooked, right? They are going to be down, and it's just going to be a risky environment. But but by the same token, I think a great opportunity to buy those projects that you are doing a lot of research and you believe in.
So yeah,
there you go.
To pull it up. Yeah. So we've got obviously this one is the one we're in. And then they have another, wow, look at the, I was like, wait a minute, I skipped a month, November. So we're going to get about 6 weeks or so. And then we go to December 13th. So yeah. So, Zach, your thoughts on kind of the question?
Yeah, I think what Oscar said was really profound, and I agree with a bunch of everything he said there. I think this one for me is a really important one, just to kind of see where we shake out. I think if we can continue to kind of hold these levels, if it doesn't do anything crazy after what I think is going to be a 75 basis point hike too, just my guess. If we stay in these 18,000, 19,000 range, I feel like we can maintain that the rest of this year. But Oscar and Austin, I want to get your thoughts. I've heard maybe the worst is yet to come, and it might be in 2023, maybe like that first quarter, like December into January, which nobody really knows, right? Like nobody has a crystal ball. Everybody's kind of speculating here, but we do know, what the goal is in terms of inflation and what that number is. And in order to get there, I mean, we're going to see some interest rate hikes at least for the next 6 months.
Well, but that goes back to Oscar's point, Zach, because you're right. To me, that's the heart of it, right? It's like, okay, what is, to Oscar's point, what are the next month and the following month's CPI data? If those numbers are starting to reduce, especially core, then I think you'll start to see an easing possibly. But if they continue to stay at the same levels or incrementally, we were expecting 8.1, we got 8.3 in this last one, and core went up as well to, was it 0.6%, I believe, Oscar? That was the number. Yeah. The core the core number, the one that everybody really cares about. I guess really what I'm going with this, Zach, is it back to your kind of like when? I think, again, Oscar, you said it and I love it, is 2022 is cooked. That's a great, that's a great metaphor. It is. But I think that's where it gets very, very murky for me. It's dependent upon what the CPI data is. And I think, we're in recession, although there's certain people who would like to say we're not. Oh, come on. We are. We have 2 GDPs declining, 2 quarters GDP. Come on. What is that? What is that, Zach? What's that old commercial? Come on. Wasn't that a commercial? Yeah. Like, or seriously, man, I don't know. Whatever you get.
In my opinion, I think he said it best yesterday. I watched the news. The pandemic is over. He said it while he was touring Detroit. While he was touring Detroit Expo. The pandemic is over. He said it. So I'm like, okay. So if the pandemic is over, why are we here then? So I mean, right now, all those things that affected us, gone, right? Okay, whatever. Many things going on. Okay, what's next? Well, we got this inflation, massive supply, spending more. Not even a month ago, the student loan forgiveness, billions of dollars. So it seems that right now it's just going to be a year where the Fed, Papa Powell, and all of these bankers are going to be adding more percentages September, November, December, and early in 2023. That's what the experts are go for it.
But I'm sorry. I got to get this off my brain, Oscar, because I've heard you talk about it. One thing we haven't even talked about that's a big, huge deal: November elections. Let's call it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Holy crap! Yeah,
that is why. Not wanting to, get too political here, but it's gonna affect it no matter what.
Absolutely. Because the narratives, what narrative is going to be pushed in mainstream media? I know we're not going to. What was that?
Headline: Gas is under $3 for the first time. Just wait. Right in November, all of a sudden, gas will be $2.80 out of nowhere. Oh my gosh! Look at this! Look what we did.
Everybody's debt is forgiven. Everybody. You got a mortgage.
For the gas. We are at historical, the petroleum reserves, historical lows in the petroleum reserves, because previous president added a lot of them and they folded up. This president is taking it all out because for the elections, they want to have gas low. So it's a mess, of course, just kind of having all this information available to manipulate the markets in some way or the other. But we have elections, we have those meetings. We're going to be increasing the rates according to what the CPI data is going to tell us. But if there's one thing that we know is that I think on a positive outlook, on this upcoming September reporting in October, if we don't see an 7% inflation, then if we continue seeing 8%, it's cooked. I mean, by all means, and the Fed will have to increase 100% no matter what, like 100 basis points no matter what. Like if they go 75 or 100 this one, they will for sure have to do 100 if we don't see 7% this upcoming one. But it's exciting. Just another opportunity, like I've said, to buy cheap crypto, because everybody wants to buy Bitcoin when it's at $70,000. But
the wife's calling. I'll be right back. Y'all keep talking amongst yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Oscar, I think what I always think about, like, what would cause Bitcoin to go to 15,000? Like, hypothetically here, like, what, in your opinion, would create another cascade down? I feel like so many people who wanted to sell have sold, and anybody who's in a position just to hold is holding. Like, how bad would it have to get in order for us to see a huge sell-off again?
Well, that will be capitulation. All of the people that are realizing that this thing is going nowhere and they've been lied to and they're selling at a loss, massive loss, then that's the definition of capitulation, right? Mm. I think by now we're seeing MicroStrategy adding 300 Bitcoin, which is approximately $7 million. Now we have El Salvador really strong on that one, mining with volcanic sources. And, now with Ethereum proof of stake, that adds to the kind of like natural or green agenda for cryptocurrency and blockchain, which is good. And we're seeing, some type of ETF Bitcoin that are, on the works and working. And I think, in my opinion, we are not probably going to see that much capitulation because of all the good progress that we have so far in cryptocurrency and blockchain right now. Although the prices are low, it's not like the industry is sleeping or it's just crashing for some kind of reason. This past week we had Mainnet, which was a beautiful conference in New York. I was aware of that because some of the companies there I was applying to work for, but it was just incredible to see all the people rile up for this, for what's coming up. So I think it's a matter of how sellers feel, how whales and all these big buyers feel, like if they want to keep cashing out profits because of something big is coming. I think everything's going to be decided whether we go lower or not, October and November with the elections, with more of the CPI data, and if we have any type of bad event coming up for crypto. But so far, I think it's looking okay when it comes to the news, yet to be seen for the price.
I like that. Yeah. I guess we'll transition to Luna Classic real quick too, guys. So we got the chart pulled up. We've seen some consolidation here in this range for quite some time. We got some big news today, as you mentioned there at the top, Oscar, with Crypto.com. A lot of people were wondering, what Crypto.com would do in this situation. They come out maybe strategically, right near the bell and say that they're going to, back the tax burn. What are your thoughts on LUNC? And, I know you've been covering it on the channel for a long time. Where's your head at right now with LUNC?
Well, I'm pretty excited to have this conversation with all of you, because we all have talked about LUNC quite strongly. And I think it's cool, to support a community like this, kind of like talking on behalf of us three. We just want to see community tokens succeed and thrive. And no matter what the price is, as long as the community continues stronger, because that's kind of like the same essence with Shiba Inu. Now, when it comes to LUNC right now, obviously, something I've been sharing in the channel is that the price analysis, we're still on this consolidation level. I drew a nice square rectangle about 4 days ago, and I'm still right. What I've said, basically, the price comes, the price dumps a little bit, and we consolidate. That's something we see a lot. When it comes to the burns, well, finally, block 9,475,000 with 200. That's going to be the block for the upgrade of this 1.2 tax burn on chain for the blockchain. There it is. So without reading it. So I think, in my opinion, we're really coming closer to that one. And one of the things I was talking yesterday night is that Terrarity.io, they just upgraded this beautiful, nice interface, kind of seeing how much in the rate of the burns. So far, I like to see more exchanges coming in, especially Crypto.com right now. I think owning some LUNC is not a bad idea for some quick trading, quick profiting. And, you never know if you are actually going to hit it big later on. This tax burn is really going to be amazing. I mean, because I remember what I saw in the proposal, the initial proposal, right? When they wanted to decrease all the burns or all the supply to 10 billion, obviously any kind of cryptocurrency with good community, good hype at 10 billion supply, it's a plus $1 cryptocurrency price just by the math. But that is obviously based on what I heard during the AMA this weekend. Edward Kim, Vegas, the entire Terra Rebels community, that's going to take a while. He said 9 to 10 years to burn the supply of LUNC. So there are many different things for this community that they're working on when it comes to trying to repeg USDC. That is a big thing. If that happens, if it ever happens, right now it's 3 to 4 cents. Imagine becoming a dollar once again. Sounds like an impossible task. We'll just have to see, but that's kind of what the community is looking for. And well, the more the LUNC comes up in price, the higher the craziness, the price predictions, and the more content creators come to this place. I think it's always important to stay relevant, to stay, say things as they are, and try to be as transparent as possible with the community, because there's a bunch of things happening with LUNC. But that's what I think. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, man. I think, well, I mean, number one, I do think that it's great to see people making money in a bear market. It's great to see people making money in an asset where so much was lost, right? But when I've been covering LUNC, I just want to make sure people are aware of what I'm concerned about as an investor. I did invest a little bit, not a ton, but the whole Quan thing I think still needs to be talked about, because how much is he involved? We don't really know. Right? I mean, unofficially, he's not. But explain the big move from that money going from Luna Classic into Luna out of nowhere. Like, who did that? Right? So I think those need to be discussed. But I agree with you. I think, with the community here, I mean, pushing this thing forward, I want to see more use cases down the road. And I think that stuff will come. But right now, the focus is on burns. I agree with that. That's going to significantly impact the price in the short term. And I think, getting to 1 cent, with Shiba Inu, it's the 1 cent dream, right? I think that's kind of the same thing with Luna Classic right now. Get to 1 cent and take it day by day. But I'm excited. I'm excited for anybody who's making money. I want to see people win. And so many people have made money in the last 3 to 4 months. I think the number since the low in May, Oscar, you might know this too, is it like 24,000% increase or something like that?
Okay, the price from low in May, we had a roughly 406, 407 price. So right now it's 303. Roughly that will be anywhere in the 400 to 500 and something percentage to the all-time high. So it's a pretty good 5x or 4x plus that the price has gone all the way up. If we take it, if we go all the way to the highs that we had September 8th.
Okay, I kept seeing 24,000. Do you remember seeing that, Austin, too? Maybe it was a typo in these articles, probably, but
could have been. I mean, we both reported it, so we both talked because it was in articles. But I mean, I think that may be from the bottom of May. That's from when it just was completely decimated in or April-ish timeframe.
Regardless, people have made a ton of money on this, and I'm happy about that. Like, here you go. I mean, according to right here in the last 3 months, 432%. That's awesome. But like, I'm not afraid to say this, guys. Like, take profits along the way. At least win the trade. Like, in my opinion, not financial advice. We're all just giving our thoughts, right? Take your initial out and like 20%. Usually that's like my general rule of thumb, especially with something highly volatile like this in the middle of a bear market. I mean, win the trade and then see what happens, right?
Yeah.
At least that's what I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're coming up on 30 minutes. I think let's kind of start wrapping it up, but I want to wrap it up and that I agree with what you guys just said. And I think especially Oscar, I love what you talked about, the kind of the community token aspect and how this thing's seeing it evolve. And I've covered that on my channel in that context. Zach, I agree. The Do Kwon thing is still hanging out there. And I think we'll continue to see how that narrative plays out, with it. We know that South Korea has asked for a red notice to be issued for via Interpol for him. That I think that's a story that will continue to evolve. But with that, putting that aside, I want to see the community driven Terra Luna Classic evolve into much more. And that's the story I'm really focused on. That's what I really want to see. It's been kind of interesting to see that develop real time, and that's cool.
I think That's, of course, I think, in my opinion, what I want always for a community, right? That progress and development. Um, Obviously, when a cryptocurrency, especially now, kind of behaving like a meme coin, but a community token now, since TFL just said, goodbye, pretty much when it comes to the development and the source code. Obviously, right now, I think everybody is so focused on the price, so focused on the question mark $1 in 200 days or $1 in 90 days, or kind of those crazy thumbnail titles that I don't know what happened, but it is classic YouTube. It will come to a point that, like I've been saying to my subscribers, followers, or anyone, we'll have to see some major sell-offs that it will bring all the community down to its knees. We haven't seen that. With Shiba Inu, we saw it. Crypto.com, we saw it. Bitcoin, we saw it. Like all the rest of the altcoins we saw the bear market crypto winter.
Yeah.
We still haven't yet seen for LUNC since September 8th. Now, will that happen? We don't know, but how will the community react once, if ever, that comes? Because that could also gain 1-0, and that will be for Zeros 8, for Zeros 9. That's an amazing opportunity for what? Number one, to burn more, because with $1,000, you can burn more at that level than at this level. And number two, well, actually seeing how the entire cycle is going to recycle and see if who is going to stay here and continue this project or not, and start a reset from the bottom up. So there's all these different questions, right? Obviously, I wouldn't say that $1 is coming anytime soon, especially, I mean, if ever, right, for LUNC this 2022. But I think, as a matter of fact, just as a recommendation, anyone watching and a beginner of this cryptocurrency space, all cryptocurrency right now, it's yet to be seen that bull market season. We're in a bear market and we're not going anywhere. So that is why we're talking about LUNC, because what it did a month ago is unprecedented for 2022. 2021 was our beautiful Shiba Inu. Everybody was like, no way. And we got to start right here, right next to me, talking about it on a day-to-day basis. 2020 was Dogecoin, right? And 2022 obviously has to be Terra Luna Classic. So we all have our pumps and dumps times and our consolidations that are hurt. And it's not really easy, because guess what? What crypto is going to be in 2023? You may don't think so, right? But it's going to change eventually. That's what crypto is. So Terra Luna Classic, to reach the 1 cent to start, the 1 cent dream, has to stay relevant. The burns have to come. According to Edward Kim, 2+ billion just on chain. What about off chain? So many different question marks, but that is exciting in crypto. Don't get frustrated if we don't get the prices you want at the time you want. If you are following that agenda, then you are not really into crypto, realistically speaking.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, gentlemen, I thank for your time. We're going to wrap it up there and call it a day. So as always, if you're interested in learning more about Clear Cryptos, down in the link in the description below, check it out. Definitely get involved in their Discord. All the latest and greatest info is coming as far as kind of when the launch, all that kind of stuff will be shared in their Discord. We will see you later. Take care. Have a good one.
Have a good one, everybody.